Hey, I'm back for one more time. Guys, this is Improvement. I am Wardí. Thank you very much if you've been tuned in for the last 5.5 hours. This is going to be our last replay of the night. It's been amazing that I haven't actually dipped below 16 concurrents on the stream. Like, how the fuck do you keep 16 concurrent, like 16 people constantly watching at least? It's crazy. It's like really fucking crazy. So again, thank you very much for everyone who supports us. Do check out our Twitter, twitter.com/sc2_improve. Our Twitch TV, which is this channel here, twitch.tv/Wardí with 3 eyes. Please do give me a follow if you don't already, so you can see when we go live with all of the SC2 Improve events. Apart from that, check us out facebook.com/sc2improve, youtube.com/sc2improve, where all the VODs of tonight's games will be uploaded, probably tomorrow. I get the feeling I have to go ladder and practice after this, so don't want to spoil my good habits of not practicing. So I should really stop talking because we've got a fucking proxy gate, man. So KsP, he's going for the proxy gate, and what does Veni proceed? Well, Veni says, "Why scout so early?" Well, you know, don't know, just fancy it, you know. Why not? Good question. Oh my god, that's funny. Absolutely no idea. I'm sorry, Veni. I'm really sorry, but that's just hilarious. So I'm going to be chronoed pretty damn fast out of the gateway here, and you know there's not another depot down, so Veni's going to be able to put his command center down on the low ground, but you know the Zealot's going to put an end to that pretty damn fast. He's not going to get a supply depot up, and well, Protoss may have just fucked this up. We're all putting the pylon down so you can't wall off, and bunker coming down for Veni as well, so obviously this isn't the ideal opening. I think at the same time, you know, I mean, it's a pretty big investment from KsP to get these two Zealots out so quickly, and right now Veni's dealing with this really nicely. The pylon gets cancelled there, and the Zealot here is not actually going to be able to get that many kills at all, and again, oh, what a brilliant block there. Might in the end lose the wall, but it just saved that extra couple of seconds there, losing one SCV, and then the Zealot will actually have to go home, and really nice play from Veni. Now all he needs to do is throw down his expansion, probably on the high ground, and then, yeah, slowly move the bunker forward. Doesn't really even, you need the bunker, of course, in case at home your opponent has to sign next core up and a stalker comes to the front, because that can actually end your day pretty quickly. You're like, got a wall, bitches please, Alex can't get into me, and then you're like, shit, you got a stalker. Yeah, I guess cool, I'll deal with that, and then you're just like, oh god. Veni says, I guess, what do you guess? What do you guess? What's he gonna guess? Is he gonna guess that it was a proxy? Yeah, that's a pretty good guess. Stalker's on the way out of that. Of course, KsP right now, he's going to try and get as much as possible. As much as possible out of that gateway, of course, before it has to die. And KsP just kind of sat here. He's just going to sit here for a little while. Going to poke up, sees the bunker, and it's like, cool. Pretty witty guy. I like this guy. So, Rack's being added on, Veni's just going to transition into his very normal build. What he needs to do is just get 4 Marines out and then just try and poke down, get rid of this Stalker so he can get his bunker on the low ground and take his expansion down there. No rush to do that right now, of course, because there's a command center built there. There's an engineering bay blocking the way for KsP to expand though, and the Stalker is going to have to come back home to kill that. And you know KsP does know about that, so he can't expand, which is why he's going for the 3 gateways. Currently boosting out the warp gate here, so going to go for the 3 gate expand, probably put on some pressure with it. He's already got proxy pylon, how awesome is that? But he is going to lose the Stalker, which is a pretty bad, oh, I thought Veni had lost it there, but nope, he gets it, and right now Veni just needs to start his bunk on the low ground, maybe even 2. And he should be okay. We're actually seeing the Twilight Council go down, we're seeing the double gas, so it's very possible we're going to see KsP going for the blink play here. It's a little bit of an interesting map. It's not the most favoured of maps for the blink play, but it could be pretty cool. It could be DTs too, and Veni is actually going to say, well, you know, I've got this, yeah, I thought so. I was going to say, like, man, you've got to make command center, you're really just going to throw down a 3rd CC then, just leave him with everyone in the main. It's just throwing down the orbital down at the natural now, as we do see that Twilight Council finishing up, and it looks like it will be blink Chronobus now immediately. Expansion coming down for KsP as well, so he's just going to try and put on as much aggression as possible with the blink play. Veni, if we look at his vision right now, a little bit clueless. I mean, he knows that engineering base being killed, but you gotta be kind of wondering, like, what's up, like, in his base, like, is he just, like, okay, so he saw the 2 extra gateways, so he knows it's on free gate, but he's got to be asking himself, is he just free gate expanding, or is he just gonna pressure me, or what? Because when there's no pressure coming after a free gate, you have to think, well, what's kind of up? Unless he took a really fast third nexus, which this SCV will be able to scout if it checks over there. If it gets up into the main, into the natural, it might be able to see the yeah, I'll probably be able to see the Nexus here, which might actually trick Veni into thinking, well, there's probably not going to be any aggression coming, because you know you've got Nexus up, pretty standard. These Marines and the Marauder are going to try and come over here now, and we actually see a Dark Shrine on the way up as well. So the SCV didn't get into the main base here, but that proxy power will now be taken down. These Stalkers aren't going to be able to really do too much. Going to be able to take the tower control. Nice little Marine placement there, just getting as much map control as possible. And that warp gate is going to get taken down, but no, Veni doesn't want to get trapped there by a possible free gate pressure. So again, it's just going to pull back, and a pretty nice standard kind of thing to do, really. Starting up a turret too, still no scam, so just a nice safer turret. Just thinking, hey, it's a possibility, why not? And indeed, in this game, it's going to pay off for him. So, Starport reactor on the way up, of course, just going to transition into that very standard place. Stimpak's on the way as well. A lot of extra gates coming down for KsP. He's going up to 5 gateways. Of course, one of them is pretty much useless right now over here. So, Veni, he's just kind of waiting to see what his opponent's going to do. It's kind of up to his opponent right now if he's going to all in or not. And then, if not, then Veni can move across the map with his Medevacs, do a little bit of harassment here and there. Probe will actually get found by this Marine, and Veni's on top of that. Is he going to get Probe? Yes, he is. He's going to know that the pylon's there, so he can take it down. Although these Stalkers will be able to clean up the Marine, but so the pylon will go. But at least Veni knows it's there. He knows the possibility of warpings are there. Blink forward, and actually revealing the blink there. So if Veni was paying attention, he would notice that. DT's on the way up as well, though, and they're not going to be able to go in the main base at all because, quite frankly, there's a turret, and is KsP watching? Yes. And so he wins in anyway. Loses 1 DT, pulls everyone back. So again, they're going to be able to be used for harass throughout the game. But is it going to be enough is the question. And again, KsP just with a little bit of a weak army right now. A few Stalkers, not the best. Going to come in here and going to start taking quite a lot of damage here. He's going to start trading here with the Blink Micro. One Stalker very low on health before finally blinking them all away. And Veni just sat very happily here with these 3 bunkers. He's got his Medevacs out now as well. He's gone for the double tech lab. He's going to just be able to get a couple more Marauders out if he likes. Even going to be able to drop that factory down in front of the bunkers just to help create even more of a wall off. So double drop is loaded up, kind of thinking, well, you know, you're probably trying to contain me or so with these Blink Stalkers, thinking I can't move out, so the double drop is going to be able to do a fair bit of damage. Up on 7 gateways now, Forges are going to start coming down as well. Charles is being researched, Templar Archives going down too, so we're going to transition into Templar Archon. So far, all of KsP's kind of attacks haven't really been able to do too much, and he's actually lost a lot more than his opponent. Veni also ahead on economy. Needs to just start with third base, sorry, there is the third base coming up. And Veni just adding on a couple more racks as well. +1 is starting up too, though, for the for our Terran player. But the Protoss player probably going to be able to even that up with the double forge. We're going to be able to get the Chrono boosts down on that. And here comes the double drop, which is actually going to be pretty much unsighted here for the longest of times. And there we go, just being seen now. And is KsP responding to this? Well, actually, no, not at all. There's the Stimming. Going to target down at least 1 forge here, and if that 1 forge goes down, that's pretty much huge damage already. Force field's going down, but you know that's not really that much of a big deal either. Targeting with the Marines on the sentries, which is really nice, and then using the Marauders to pick up the forges. So delaying them upgrades is going to keep Veni ahead in this game for quite a long time here, and just being really cute with his micro here, and he saves all of the units, apart from a few which got killed off. But a really nice trade there, taking out them forges is absolutely huge, of course, as we now see Veni feeling a little bit more confident as he says, TT, what do you do? What did you do, bro? Oh, did he just lose their Medevacs to them Stalkers? Oh my god, how the fuck did I miss that? So losing the Medevacs to the Stalkers kind of tells around, I mean, he's lost 16 supply, but he did a lot of damage with that. So turret's going to be set up at the third base almost immediately, and Veni going to try to stim in here, but of course that's just kind of a waste of health. as the Stalker's just kind of running around. Veni doesn't have a Ghost Academy up. Check his vision once again. Hasn't seen that Templar Archives in the corner, so not completely sure that the Ghosts are a good choice here. So he hasn't actually gone for them yet, but he now has actually a Blink to deal with in the main. Going to get turrets targeted down here, and that's going to mean that the next one to get targeted down is probably going to be Tech Labs and Reactors. Going to pick up a couple of Marauders too, and where's it going to go next? I'm interested. I really feel like he could have done so much more with this. Getting the Reactor on the starport, for example, would be a really good thing. He's going to pick off the Medivac though, and that's pretty huge, especially with how low health a lot of these units are, having stimmed across the map everywhere. So Veni, a little bit of a missed defense there. Maybe he just wants to get the turrets up to deny that kind of observer vision, because that's kind of going to suck if that keeps happening, of course. A nice little attack though, denies a lot of the production facility that wanted to be building for Veni right then. As Veni right now is going to be able to get his third base up and install that mine. He's got a pretty huge force there moving across the map. Lost a couple of Medivacs though, and of course that's always going to hurt. However, KsP has storms up, and again, Veni only just starting that Ghost Academy now, and maybe just didn't recognise that this is going to be a Templar Archon play for so long. As the Zealots entirely just coming up to the tower, not actually taking the tower, so not actually seeing this big army hidden in the middle of the map quite yet. Seeing it now, as Veni kind of moves over to the right hand side a little bit, and he's going to be able to take down that pylon. Finally. A few units there going to be able to get picked off, and if there's no Stalkers here with the army, so them Medivacs are a little bit unfortunate. Stimming in now is Veni though, and nice force is going to trap a lot of them bio units. The storms are coming in, and there comes the first storm. Down on Fairfield, bio is not the best of storms though. Another two storms available, there's one in fact storming his own Templar, and that wasn't the best choice for KsP at all, and Veni can actually just stim in after this army now. Should be able to pick off all of them units if he would like to do so. There's no storms on them Templar at all, and so two more Templar will fall. Again, Veni needs to get that Medivac count back up. He's really struggling in terms of health right now, and finally going to have to turn around as the reinforcements speed up, and once again having to stim to get away, which is always going to be painful on them bio units. So we're into a nice solid macro game now for both guys, as KsP kind of just needs to add some gateways, you know, probably, well, he's making that Colossus tech switch right now. In fact, even adding a second robot facility, so he's going to go for 2 Colossi at a time. He needs to start up his 2-2, he's currently boosting his forges, but 2-2 isn't even started. He needs to stop being so aggressive, but a huge storm going down on the army, and the next storms aren't as impressive. In fact, the next few storms aren't as impressive at all. Nice splitting from Veni, kind of outsmarting his opponent, thinking one step ahead, thinking, hey, where are you going to place them storms, getting out of the way. Veni, I really feel like, I know he's overstimmed, but again, if you can chase down 3 Templars and some sentries, that's probably worth another stim. So either way, we do see KsP starting to add on them extra gamers, which is exactly what he's doing. Finally, Veni also getting his ghosts out. Kind of a little bit stopped on the 3-3, a little bit gas stopped in fact, so getting that gas up at the third base is a little bit overdue. As we do see Zealots going to start harassing over here, and there's not actually that much defense. In fact, there's no defense over here at all for these, stop these Zealots. These Zealots are going to get into the middle line, start doing a lot of damage here very quickly. And he's going to start picking up SCVs pretty much just straight away, forcing Veni to come all the way back. And KsP is fighting with a pretty small army right now, but these harassments are really nice moves, and stuff like this can really keep you in games where you're pretty much kind of out of it. Some more Zealots coming in, and they're actually getting quite a lot of work kills. 35, 36, and even going to be going up to 30s, no, maybe not. So, 36 worker kills for, 36 worker kills for Veni. For KsP this game, which is keeping him pretty much in the game. He's trying to work his head, you know, this triple mule on the field. And Veni finally just going to be able to start getting them ghosts out. Again, having his gas harass there won't help him out, because of course he needs as much gas as possible right now. He needs a few more ghosts. He needs some Vikings as well, because right now KsP, he's walking forward with some Colossi. Colossi pretty damn good against no Vikings. However, there's not that much of an army here, but where are the storms? The storms! The first storm goes down, and Veni actually runs into it. Veni runs into the second storm as well, and now actually more storms are potentially going to go down. Ghosts have used their EMPs, and that actually means that there's no more energy left on the Templar, and Veni could stim in after this. There's no defense there for them Colossi. Them Ghosts need to be careful, and 2 Ghosts will actually fall a little bit sadly. And Sec, I just want to say, it's so ridiculous what a disproportionate amount of skill this is taking from me compared to you. I completely agree, man. Like, it's complete bullshit. Look at this, suddenly 4 Colossi and you've got like 1 Starboard. It's like, fuck. So it's like, so then text which is so good. Wow, what the fuck was that? So another harassment coming in over there. KsP just continuing to BM the shit out of Veni. Templar did get saved from before, and that means they're going to be able to come back in here with mostly renewed energy. And here goes Stimming in here, going to try and chase down them Templar. Miststorm there. And KsP does have just so many Colossi though, that as long as there's a few units in front, he's going to have... Veni's going to have a lot of trouble dealing with them. And storms aren't the best from KsP at all, so I don't know what he's talking about multitasking if you can't even fucking press T on the army. Huge storm finally going off, and another one right on top of it. But Veni is in so much trouble right now, as so many Colossi are going to just rain down, and Veni just wasn't prepared for this at all. And again, he just took so much damage throughout the game, and now dropping down to 50 supply below his opponent, and Veni leaves the game. Upgrades at the end were 2-2 against 2-2. Veni could have had 3-3 stored, but again, maybe not, because you know, you had that kind of gas taken very late at the third. So, in my opinion, I think, in general, you're like ahead. Losing their medevacs kind of sucked, but you did a lot of damage. Like, the whole problem was kind of the harassment he managed to keep up. You traded very well at those points where you could have maybe kicked off a couple of more swords, when you could have killed off a couple more Templar, but in general, I think the lack of medevacs kind of hurt you, because you're always kind of fighting with kind of either low health army, or medevacs with no energy, because they just healed up your really low health army. So, not that you were stimming too much, I think you stimmed the right amount, just you didn't have the medevacs to really justify it at the end of the game. And what really killed you at the end was the Colossi. If then Colossi went there, you probably would have been relatively okay, but in general, just the lack of gas, I think, really hurt you, because you couldn't really remax on that many kind of Vikings. You couldn't really get that many ghosts out either. And I think in general, like, he was like a bit behind, sure, but then killing their medevacs kind of evens it up quite significantly. And as soon as like Templar's out, like, you didn't really manage to deny his third base ever. Like, he got his third base up, a pretty nice time and like fairly quick. So, in fact, like, let's have a look when he got his third base up in comparison to yours. Like, just like 8 times it. Yeah, like the Zealot and DTs did so much damage. So that's the drop, that was nice, but then you like kind of got a little bit outsmarted there, which is kind of a bit sucky. And that kind of keeps it even, and like, yeah, he's going to have his third, like, probably mining the same time as yours, so at the end of the day, like, he's actually getting his third, like, mining probably about the same time as yours, which is never really great. So you're not actually like, it's not actually like that. Like, I feel like you should be ahead, but in the end you're actually not, because of the third timing. And then yeah, like DTs. Okay. I wouldn't know where all the workers came from, so yeah, where all the worker kills went from. But like, yeah, if we like pause at this point, like if you look at the army, it's like you're so far ahead in army. You're like 2-2s just finished. You've got such a huge timing now because you killed his forges so fast. But from here, you just kind of sit around, and the reason is because he didn't have the medevacs out, because he kind of like didn't have the gas, I guess, kind of. But like, look at what he's got, like 3 Templar. So what he's got in the next 15 seconds, he's got 6 storms. So if you can avoid 6 storms, then he's got like 7 zealots. So in general, I think it's just the gas, the fact that you were overstimmed a bit already. And you were too, I think, yeah, you were too overstimmed to kind of take advantage of like maybe your upgrade advantage, yeah, the run by again. And the run bys kind of kept you from then pushing again and again and again, because again, he's just got such small armies. And it's like, yeah, blacking and gas kind of just sucks, so bunker over here is always great. And I mean, throughout the game, like, you got a turret here, kind of stops wall prism stuff and so on. You got a turret here too, but it's just such a bitch to play against, like, Zealot Warpins. It's like so fucking hard. It's like, he can just run Warpin Zealots and run them wherever the fuck he wants, and it doesn't matter, because he doesn't need minerals, so yeah, if you sent them to the main now as well, like, you lost like 26 workers already, then like, it just kept dropping, and he had a nice economy, and yeah. I mean, it's pretty much all to say. I think, like, at this point here, you get like nice EMPs on them Templar. You didn't actually run it. You ran into one storm there, but then you're still in a pretty nice position there. When you saw the Colossi, and you try and start Vikings, but it's just too late, I think. I mean, you're not even that far behind, like, even then it's like even-ish, but you just don't have the composition. Like, you don't have the composition to take out the Colossi, and then you can't remake the ghosts and stuff as well. It might have been army control. I personally don't think it was army control. I think there's like 2 or 3 storms in the whole game that you kind of ran into, so it wasn't really that bad. Anyway, this has been improvement episode number 2.